Hi, my name is Erica Munoz, coordinator in the Office of Student Life. And for this training, I'm going to cover how to create events in AlamoExperience. So I'm starting at the very beginning, and that's ACES. To access AlamoExperience, you would log into ACES and go either to your student or employee tab. For this example, I'll go ahead and go to my student tab, and I'll scroll down to AlamoExperience here. And then this is the main page. If you see a blue link up here asking you to sign in, that means that you're not quite signed in yet. You'll just have to click sign in. Once you're signed in, you would want to toggle to the manage view. This view will allow you to manage your organization, and you'll see the memberships where you have access to manage those organizations. I have a lot on mine. You may just have a few on yours. Today, we're going to use the PAC Student Life page as an example. So this is what the view looks like whenever you're managing your organization. You're wanting to go to your organizational tools, and that's where you'll find the events section. To create a new event, you would simply click on the blue link, Create Event, and then you would complete the form. So I'm going to walk through a sample. We'll make this a test music event. One thing that I want to point out is that it's important or helpful for you to put your college in front of the event name. Since I'm at Palo Alto College, I'm going to put PAC. This is because the events are seen by all the different colleges, and so it helps to really solidify which location the event is being hosted by. Then you want to select a theme. For this theme, I'm going to select arts and music, but you can select from any of these themes that you feel best fits your organization. On here, you can write a description. And in this case, the description that I am selecting is just a sample here. But if you wanted to, you can embed links, or here you can have hyperlinks. You can also embed a video. So you can embed a YouTube video or a Vimeo video. And so all of these can help make your event look more appealing, or you can put a preview to your event in the video. You can also co-host your event with another organization. Once the event is approved, then the event will show up on both organizations' page. To find an organization to co-host, you would simply just type in the organization's name and you would co-host that way. You also want to set a time and place for your event. So the times are here. You can add several dates onto one event and make that at once if it's a reoccurring event. You can also have a location that's in person or online. For in-person locations, you can select the option to add the address, and this will have a Google Maps link to your event. This is really helpful for public events or for events where you have a lot of folks coming that are off of campus, or if your event is off of campus, it can help people really know exactly where to go. If your event is a regularly occurring meeting and you just are having it, for example, in the student center, then you can just make it without the map. For the online locations, you want to make sure that you have your link ready. If you're using Zoom, then you can put the Zoom link directly here and it will show up in the meeting. So I'm going to put a sample Zoom link right here for my meeting and save. And then we'll be able to see where this shows up on the event. This event has a in-person location as well as an online location. A lot of events will probably have either or, but just know that it's an option. You also can select the visibility for your event. Some events are public, they're open to everybody, the community, students. If you want people to be able to RSVP for your event and not have an ACES account or not have to log in, then I would definitely recommend that you set your event to be public. If not, you can select students and staff at AlamoExperience. This will mean that in order to uh, RSVP or to see your event, they would have to have an ACES login. You can make it only to your organization and the ones hosting, or invited users only. For invited users only, you will have to copy and paste the emails for all those invited, and those do have to be the student or staff emails. These are also, these event categories will dictate which category your event is, and it's a way for students to search for events. And so you can select if your event is online. If it's funded by the student activities fee, we definitely encourage you to select this category. It helps us with our reporting. And you can also select perks. So there's only 3 to choose from: free food, free stuff, or credit. And if your event has free food, free stuff, or if you're giving credit in AlamoExperience, then I definitely encourage you to select those. This next section is for experiential learning events. So if your event is an approved experiential learning opportunity, or if you think it might be but are unsure, you can select yes. If it's not, then you'll just select no. If you do select yes, then you'll want to select one of these categories for the NACE career competencies. And there's some examples to the side. So if you, for example, if you're hosting a leadership event, it might be leadership. You would pick whichever category you feel is the best fit for your event. And so I'm just going to select one for this example that I feel would go well with my test event, but you would select whichever you feel best for yours. And then you would pick your primary experiential learning category. And so there's some examples next to each category. And so for this example, I'm going to select that it is extracurricular. Next. All right. Now we can select who can RSVP. Only invitees, no one. Say you're just making an event to then add people at the end. That could be an option, or anyone. And remember, if you put that this event is invite only, then only those invited will be able to see. You can limit spots, and you can also elect for it to show the remaining spots. So say that I wanted to do that. You can also allow guests, and you can limit the amount of guests. Another feature is that you can allow and require individuals RSVPing for your event to represent an organization. That organization does have to be listed in AlamoExperience, so this is helpful for departments or organizations that are hosting things where you're counting representation. And one great feature with the event creation is that you can also have questions. And so these questions are RSVP questions, and they would show up whenever someone RSVPs for an event. So say, for example, I wanted to know the name, and I also wanted to know the email address for everyone who was RSVPing for my event. Then this is where I would list those categories. Um, if you don't want to have questions, you would just skip that part. And you can also add different types of questions. So if you wanted a longer response, you would do multi-line. If you wanted people to select one option, it would be radio buttons. If you want individuals to select from a list, then you would do check boxes. And then there's also an option to do drop down. This next section is your post-event feedback. So if you check this box, then participants will automatically be sent an email notification after the event to rate the event. The default rating is going to be the 5-star scale. You can also add additional event evaluation questions if you like, and you can add a summary that summarizes what your evaluation questions aim to accomplish. This section allows you to upload an event photo. I highly recommend it. Be sure to follow these ratios. A lot of our student organizations and departments use Canva to create their images for the event. Or if you have another image on your flyer for your event, you can crop it or upload it onto this area. For this example, I'm going to skip this part and we'll see which stock photo it selects for us. You won't see this option whenever you create your events, but the next page you'll see is for you to let us know what type of organization you are. For student organizations, there's going to be another set of questions that will come up. If you're a college department or if you're representing a college council or committee, then this is pretty much the end of your registration process. So I'm going to continue as if I'm a student organization. All right, so if you would like the Student Life Department for student organizations to create a Zoom link, you would select this link. It usually works best if your advisor or somebody else creates the link for you, so you can select, no, my advisor has set up the link. And but either way, whichever one you select, will be able to follow through after your request is submitted. We also request for a contact person. And one thing that I did want to note is that while we're recording this training, we're currently working remotely. And so whenever we aren't working remotely or we're back on campus, then this can be added that whenever you need rooms reserved. And so some of these questions you'll see are based as if you're having an in-person event where you need rooms reserved. And so when that option is available, you'll see questions on if you need a room reserved or if it's already been reserved through another department. And so here you would select the email address from the advisor, and I'm using myself as the example. This can be your advisor or whoever the contact person is for the event. You would select your phone number. And then you'll want to select who this event is open to. And then you'll also want to select how many people. And this question is more or less for when we have in-person events and we're helping to reserve rooms. But it may also help us if you have an event that has over 300 people, then we'll have to do a Zoom webinar as opposed to a regular Zoom meeting. So tables and chairs are currently unavailable, and there are some, for student organizations, some options for refreshments to be delivered through curbside. There's some vendors we're able to work with for that. So if you wanted one of these or something else, then you would select this. And if you have any other, if you need any other assistance or any other help, then you can indicate that in this box here. For student organizations, again, this is where we would want to know how you're going to pay for the refreshments or whatever you're requesting along with your event. A lot of our orgs have allocation from the student activities fee, or you have your own account or another source. And so here you would detail what the total cost of your event would be. And let's just say, let's put an example here. So you wanted 25 HEB curbside meals. So that's 23. Let me change to 25. 25 HEB curbside meals. And so we would get that request and help you process it. We'll use whatever contact information was placed there. This last page is where you can go back and see all of the pages and double check and make sure you have everything that you would like, and then you would select allow attendance. Since I am an AlamoExperience administrator, this event will be auto-approved, but whenever you're a student organization, when you submit, then your advisor will be sent an email, and they will be able to give a thumbs up from that email to approve the event, and we would approve it once we get that thumbs up. If you're a college department, you wouldn't see the last 3 pages where we put in the request. Your events would also be auto-approved. All right. So this is what the event looks like from the Explore view. And so as I'm looking here, you can see the option to change details. Once the event's over, the event rating will show up here. And you can also see the online location information as well. And this is also where you would track attendance. And in the next video, I'm going to cover how you track attendance. But the last thing I want to share is how you view the event. So if I go here, this is what the public view of the event looks like. And you always want to click that. Let me go back so you can see. You want to click View Event. And then in the public view, you would take this URL right here, and this is what you would share to people so they can sign up. And you'll see here where people can join the event online. I think because our event has already passed, my RSVP information isn't showing up. But say that you do, then you'll see a link right here for people to RSVP. And I can actually show you an example on our student life events list right here for an event that hasn't happened. So if I click here and view events, then you'll see this is where the RSVP link shows up. All right, well, thank you for attending this training virtually. And the next training will cover how to track attendance after your event has occurred.